Manever I say ma PENDREAM TV. PENDREAM TV there, I see them yopo.
I don't have any particular topic. I just want to run a rave because there are so many things that need to be done. And then I just keep getting reminded. I say, KSM, nation building is not for kids. So if you were talking about nation building, and you have some of that from because you will be facing some of the worst opposition ever. Let's put everything on the side. Let me start with this thing that I saw. I want to make a comment about it. The issue has passed a bit, but I want to make a comment about it because we are still in the floods. There's this whole issue of Mahama on a helicopter. You know why I'm laughing? I just find it so needless. Folks, let me say something. Let me say something. If, let's say that the rainfall had hit one area, yeah, for instance, Burma camp or Chado or Teshi, just one area had been flooded and there were all these nasty things, one or two areas be, then it would make sense that the president will visit this area that was hit by the flood and do whatever he has to do. It will make sense. See, Charlie Dansuma flooded. What is happening in Dansuma is so bad. It will make sense that the president will then go to Dansuma to see the affected area in a car or walk. I don't care, but it will make sense. But folks, if the flooding has hit the whole of Accra, and many parts of Accra have been submerged in the flood, then it makes sense. And even a class 1 or kindergarten 1 person will understand. Say if it has hit the whole of Accra, it is only intelligent that the president who wants to see the scope of the disaster should start with a high angle shot. Where common sense. It is just common sense. My grandchild, who is 6 months old, will know, say, hey, the whole of Accra, how do you assess it? The only way you can assess it is to go above it and do a correct assessment. Because of politics, Ghana for CNT will be there. No Ghana for some people because of politics. It is so unintelligent. Folks, you know, and this is what I mean by when you say you're going to do nation building, just prepare. Because there's so much nonsense that you're going to come across, but be ready to accommodate the nonsense because it is part of nation building. Folks, this is not a partisan issue. Mikechi Kakra and Kranyina flooded. And Kranyina, the whole of Accra has been submerged in a flood in one of the worst rains ever. The president of the land says, let me go up with a helicopter. Let me survey the extent of the damage. Hey! NPP that. Folks, does it make sense or am I the one that's crazy? Okay, let's just say, assume I am the one that's crazy. But I think those who are shocked and disgusted the president went above to view the bird's eye view. A bird's eye view is a very broad picture. And even some of the pictures you're looking at now, who would have known in Ghana that this was the extent of the damage unless it was being captured from a high angle? But hey, you say you're wrong. Why? Because it is opposition. Why? Because it is partisan politics. And when we say partisan politics, it simply means that the discussion is not being generated by anything intelligent or it's being generated on the basis of party. Anymore. Sometimes you can belong to a different party, but try and see sense. You know, I told a joke one time. I told a joke that it was a long joke. Let me say the joke again. I said, imagine Rollins was in the speedboat with Nana Kredu, and her scarf blew and fell in the sea, and then Rollins got up and he walked on the water, and then went to retrieve Nana Kredu's scarf. I said, how will the people report this? Those who like him And who are in his party, we say, miracle. JJ walks on water. And those who do not like him, who are not in his party, and who are against him, who says, day of shame, JJ cannot swim. So what can I say? Trust me, I saw Afenyo Makin talking plenty about the sin that Mahama committed. Listen small.
We have not seen the president visiting families. We saw him in the air. We saw him in the helicopter. Mr. Speaker, those who lost their lives, we have not seen any government official reaching out to them, their families. Those who lost properties, we have not seen any action from government. What we know is that the president was comfortably in the helicopter in the name of surveying, finding out. But Mr. Speaker, the people who suffered are in their homes. The people who suffered, Mr. Speaker,
let me say this, my nephew Afenyo, I can swear to God, if the same thing had happened, the extent of the damage had happened under NPP, and Anado had gone above in the helicopter to view it, I swear to God, Afenyo, you would have come and prayed to Anado that he cares. But it wasn't him. So what happened was a different story altogether. That's what, look, you know, any partisan politics, no. And on this too, I'll say, it is very, very possible that if the flood had occurred under NPP and maybe Nanado also went up to see it, maybe so NC people will come up and say, Nanado wasn't there, he doesn't care about the people. Politics, and you're intelligent too. It is politics. It doesn't mean it makes sense. Massa, let's be one person that I really respect and admire. Kwesi Pratt also condemned the action that he went above there. He should have been on the ground, meeting people, hugging them and all.
The president decided to go on a helicopter trip around the flooded areas to assess the damage, you know. It shows some empathy with the people who are affected and so on, but I would have thought that even that would have been better displayed if he was walking on the ground, touching people, getting into affected homes, lifting babies and so on. The empathy would have been better expressed than flying around the flooded city in a helicopter.
But I'm saying that is only applicable if, for example, it had hit a very small area and he had gone into that area to meet with those who were the victims. But the whole damn Accra, no. It is not possible for that one-on-one thing. So all I'm saying is that sometimes pipe down on the partisan crap. Look, for once, what's his name? Baumia, Vice President, he visited the scene. And unless I was hearing wrong, I think there was one time that Baumia himself was saying, this is a tragedy for the whole nation, and we shouldn't turn this into a partisan politics. This is about the nation. Listen to what Baumia said.
Na we dey Ghana for na problem no nti gise nyina ye kabom na yetimi hu akwan a ye befa so ama saade yi emba biom nti nyina ye bakabom aye saadima. We have to bring everybody together regardless of party, but this is for Ghana. And let us do it for Ghana. Let us come together for Ghana and solve this problem for our country. And so that is where I want to ask everybody, let's do this together.
So the first thing I want you to notice, even him, leader of the opposition, certainly, it doesn't make sense to turn this into a partisan thing. And even on the 4th, he didn't go to the whole Accra. Did Baumia told the whole of Accra to meet people no, he went into 1 or 2 areas to meet one-on-one. And I'm not condemning him for that. I'm glad he did. But those who are saying that this is what means that we should vote for Baumia because he didn't go and look in the helicopter, it is so lame. If you want a better thing to say about why Bawumia should be voted for, think of a more intelligent reason other than this. Because while Bawumia was talking about this, that's no partisan, let's not make this a partisan issue, and was focused on nation building, his team, the cohorts, you heard what Mr. Afenyomakwe said already.
We have not seen the president visiting families. We saw him in the air. We saw him in the helicopter. Mr. Speaker, those who lost their lives, we have not seen any government official reaching out to them, their families. Those who lost properties, we have not seen any action from government. What we know is that the president was comfortably in the helicopter in the name of surveying, finding out. But Mr. Speaker, the people who suffered are in their homes. The people who suffered, Mr. Speaker, are Mayor Shipon.
When will we take this needless partisan politics? And the thing is, you can always cover it by being populist. People have died. People are mourning. People, you know, it's all fun. It's all part of politics. You know, let us think intelligently. I've been told that they have declared this week a week for sanitation and cleaning, so that everybody will go and clean their neighborhood.
Friday, all other political activities must be suspended. Everybody must be on board. All markets and shops must be closed. And this one, the CDS is on board. And the IGP is on board. And the Controller General for Immigration is on board. So if you go and open your shop, you will be on fire. This is not just the normal thing that we've been doing. If a president speaks and you want to take it for granted, the law will deal with you. He is the commander-in-chief of the Ghana Armed Forces. All shops will be closed. All markets will be closed. And the market, when the flood came, it entered most of the market. So if we don't close them and sweep and clear all the debris and disinfect most of the places, they will be selling all those things for us to eat, and there will be outbreak of diseases and those things. These are some of the things. As
a symbolic gesture, it is great. But between you and I, my reaction will be in she. And yet you hear you. This is good. Effort. But in yet you hear you. The healing is a sustainable waste management policy. Long term. This is just a short term. Okay, now all of us will go outside and go and clean the gutter. We are now they put here until when? Next rainfall. Let's be realistic here. Let us be realistic here. For me, that one is just something symbolic. But when we are talking about the kind of crisis we have gone through, it means serious work. And for those people too that have turned this into a partisan thing, I saw some guys saying, this is all an NDC thing. If we hadn't voted for the NDC, flat and crank him.
2024, abani ya toya. Senka NDC winia. Sa nipa 34. Aya omowi. Nka omote atest for asase so. Because nka NPP na wa ba mu a ka sa flood way. Ebi isi manipa 34.
I try not to react to that. Why? Because it's so stupid, it's so senseless, that if I react to it, I'll be more stupid and more senseless. So let's put that by the side. But I'm saying that this thing has hit us. Not only Ghana. Ivory Coast went under floods. Nigeria went under floods. There were many parts of West Africa that went under floods.
Il y a quelques années, nous sommes là et nous n'avons jamais vécu de telles choses. Hein.
You can see buses coming from Oshodi.
It wasn't only Ghana. So I'm saying that this thing has hit Ghana This is the chance for Ghanaians and the leadership of Ghana to sit down and think, say, Charlie, enough of the talk. I mean, NPP, you are talking. You had over $400 million to fight flood, to build drains. What did we see? So much money to fight the floods, to bring the drains.
In the 8 years of the Akufo-Addo administration, the government committed 450 million towards flood control program. Many of these interventions were about improving the capacity of the drainage infrastructure.
What was fixed? All the time in power, what happened? So please, this is not a partisan issue, but please, these NPP gurus who get so upset and go over, because it happened under NPP. Not only did it happen, you got access to millions, hundreds of millions of dollars that if had been properly used and fixed, it probably wouldn't be this bad. But maybe you did fix it, but it was still this bad. What we have to think about now is, can there be any time where Ghana for Africans to say never again? Or we just say never again when we are in the crisis, and as soon as the crisis is over, we go back to the same old crap we are doing? This is what frustrates some of us who are into nation building, that when we have a chance to build a nation, we put the nation aside and we become partisan. And when we have a chance to build a nation, under no circumstance does any intelligent, let me qualify it by using the word intelligent, because unfortunately there are many unintelligent Ghanaians who will see this as an opportunity to do partisan politics. It is devoid of any intelligence. But those who are intelligent will sit down and think, say, hey, Charlie, anti-jam, you have seen this, you have gone on there and you have seen this. What solutions are you going to put out there? How are we going to fix this? Knowing this, by the way, folks, but I don't know anywhere in this world where the government says blocked floods from coming. It means that. It means that in the US they still go under floods. When the hurricanes came, Hurricane Susie, all kinds of names, they still go under serious flooding problems in a country as advanced as the US. Saudi Arabia, you can't say that a good government will stop floods. Madamfo, nyasa bi animo. Ya munyin kakra, mo amukasa no. Nyasa bi anim. So let's say, and this is not on today, it's the NPP on, and it has flooded, and then you go and stand there and say, from when you say NPP, the floods are back Ghana. What you can say is the government should work harder to prevent the disasters when it floods. But no intelligent, and I'm using the word here, intelligent, no intelligent person here will stand up and ever say, some government has brought floods, as many people have been saying here and there.
2024 abane ye to ya. Senka NDC win ya. Sa nipa 34. Aya omowi. Nka omote attest for asase so. Because nka NPP no abai mu a ka sa flood way e bi nsi manipa 34 wu.
Nyansa biye I'm sorry. And so this floods, this is the worst rainfall we have had in about 10 years. You can't stop it. That's why even when people are drawing contract, they call something force majeure. They say it's an act of God. Just as beyond human being. You couldn't do anything about it. It's an act of God. That's why that clause is put in contracts today. Act of God. You can't stop what they call force majeure, or you can't stop what they call act of God. So when intelligent people know that this was an act of God, but decide that they would turn it into a partisan issue, then I'm hesitant to use the word intelligent. I am. Seriously, folks. Let's start really thinking. I can't. And I'm going to do a show, not today, but you stick around for it. I'm going to do a show, and I'll talk about the 3 most difficult tasks that, in my view, I think Mahama should try and accomplish. Only 3. You join me for that show, and then it will come. And when it comes, I'll explain to you why I'm saying this. But the bottom line is this: we want to build this nation. End of discussion. End of discussion. With all our flaws, with all the 12 course organa, with all the flaws, at the end of the day, the focus should be on how we build this nation. So I just wanted to say a few things about the flood, but I got carried away. So let's move on. Let's move on. My conclusion is that those up and arms, so it is not an intelligent analysis. How Accra went at the flood. We see, I don't know if I've yet tanko. Mambodam. Patronia bodam. Politics. Am I a bodam? So, folks, I'm done with the floods. And then they may come feelings. The next thing that I saw that was very worrying was the, according to the Auditor General, is that ECG failed to pay over 3 billion in taxes. This is the next part of my show. This Auditor General's report and Auditor General and Attorney General, what is the purpose of it? For me, it looks like the Auditor General will just come occasionally to tell us how stupid Ghanaians are, to tell us how in-depth the corruption problem is, how we keep wasting money, and how we keep listening to the report and folding our arms and doing nothing. Until when? Until the next report comes out. Master, are we a people? Or should I clarify it? Are we a thinking people? So here we are sitting down, and we have a report from the auditor that's telling us that ECG did pay over 3 billion cedis in taxes in 2024. And since then, what has happened? We have just moved on. What changes have occurred? Who has been penalized? Who has been raised and sent to court? What has happened? Nothing. Absolutely zilch. And I know the auditors, they move from here to sit down and do their whole report. They will meet at hotels, they meet at this, that. The cost for the Auditor General to sit down and bring out all these, sadly, facts and evidence related to our corruption and the damage corruption is doing to us is just like a movie. But then about with TV, so it's live. Then they are sitting down on TV questioning ministers, and so bogus in my mind. And I'm saying here today, if it's nothing that the government can sit down and really say, Charlie, if the auditor's report comes out, these are the steps that we'll do. We'll find out how come that ECG or whatever they are failed to pay 3 billion in taxes. We'll find out who was behind that and why did that happen. Do they have to go to court? Whatever it is, take some action. You think we can build a nation like this? Our own Nanado, he was the one that said something that I won't forget. What's on spectators?
I ask you to be citizens, not spectators.
But we have all become spectators. KSM, spectator number 1. May I tell you, from the spectator's point of view. Of course, because the action cannot come from me. The action should come from the judiciary, the attorney general, the leaders, the president. Say, this is what the Auditor General has said. Since 2024, 2 billion in try. What has happened to that? Oh, let's move on. Please, we can't keep moving on. It's just like you see somebody who has gone to play a game. He's sweating. The guy is sweating and actually stinking because of the sweat. And when they come say, oh, Charlie, you are stinking, you are sweating. Wait. Here, put on this new t-shirt. So you put the guy in the new t-shirt and say, now you're not sweating, you're not stinking anymore. That's what we're doing as a nation. Oh. That's why we continue to call stealing and corruption misappropriation. Bull crap. What investigation has come out? For the general Ghanaian like me, or because the money has gone into somebody's pocket. And that's it. Yeah. Really? Who suspected pocket did he go into? And why that person not on trial? Or why are those people not on trial? Yeah, I think I don't know. I'll keep this until that show now. But I think it's very interesting. Forgive me if I'm quiet for a while. And some things just baffle me. We are looking at one right now. I was reading something on Joy Online regarding Wuntumi and how some case has been moved so that he can prepare something about his plea bargain so that whenever it happens he can have enough time to prepare for the plea bargain. What jokers we are in this country. We are funny people in this country. Are we serious? But the warning I'm saying is this all the time. Oh, let's stop playing with fire. Because if we continue like this, and in the face of visible corruption, in the face of stupidity that we can actually see, we just keep our allegiances to our political parties and our tribes and our religions. One day, folks, Ghana will experience an eruption. So when I talk plenty about this, I'm just hoping to advise all of us Ghanaians that if we don't change, we'll see an eruption in this country, the likes of which we have never experienced before. Things can never remain the same. Nature does not permit that. The laws of nature does not permit things to remain the same. And then NPP, then NDC comes, then NPP, then okay, now let's try somebody else. Then be a United Party, then who else knows about there is only so much time that the laws of nature will allow for this unintelligent repetition. While you are doing A, B, something from nowhere will erupt and blast both out of the place. And hopefully something different will happen. But folks, today I'm ranting and raving. I have just said, and I keep saying, that for me, dear, so long as this platform is there, and so long as JDM, Your Excellency, you are focused on resetting, I will back you till kingdom come. Hoping that we have to reset this country, because Ghana at point we are trying to reset or die. End of discussion. Ghana is at the point where we reset or die. And if you think this is a joke, let's keep doing things the same way we do things. Let's make partisan politics the god and worship partisan politics. I am saying this. I worship the God that is for nation building. That God I worship until how much life I have here on earth, I don't know. Today, tomorrow, but so long as I have breath in me, I worship nation building, because that's the only way we can get out of this foolishness. The only way we can get out of this foolishness, folks. And when I say foolishness, what do I mean? I mean by this nonsensical, sycophantic, partisan affiliations. So that sometimes people open their mouth and they talk. And I wonder, say, hey, so this person, did they actually think of what they are saying? or no, they are saying it simply because they belong to party A or party B, or simply because they are Akan, or simply because they are from the north or whatever. That's why they are talking. But our talking and what we express should never come from our party affiliation. Even if it's your party and that party is not dedicated to nation building, speak against it. Speak against it. Keep your focus on how we build Ghana. Some of us, I'm standing here, let me tell you a very funny thing. Somebody saw the bit I did with the sports thing and said, oh, KSM, thank you for that, you must lead the demonstration. And I was like, but this happened to you. Me dreaming, who? You know, I just said that just as a joke. Say, Charlie, all we can do is make people them IT small. And then the youth, the dynamic people, take what we have said and also build on that. Because where we are heading towards is not good. So JM, I'm begging you. And let me beg the entire NDC. And JM, God forbid that you fail. And I know you won't fail. You can't dare to fail. I know it won't happen. But God forbid if that happens. And we go back to where we were before. Ghanaians, I'm assuring you, will face the disaster, the likes of which we have never seen in our lives. We can't. So today I'm standing here saying, all of Ghanaians, never again. Never again will we go back to an era of lawlessness and decadence. And as I say that, I also plead with the government in charge now that never again should you also make us slip into that decadent era again. If you do, Ghana won't forgive you. I won't say it all because I have a show coming. The three things, you know. You can call the show for the three things for now. But today I won't say anything about the three things. But look, folks, I mean, let me tell you something that just came into my mind. After your marking, press conference, the regional parliament, the people are dying on the ground. Let me say this. I know you guys who just left the country still have plenty of money. What would have been great is that you charter a whole bus and then right on the bus, NPP told flood victims. And then meet the people and give speeches up to how you are sorry this has happened. Now move free this area, then go to this area, and you have your cameraman and news team following you all over Accra. Say, Charlie, the NPP said, almost the same. Oma high bus and the flood affected areas and more what should be done. The same way you had the audacity to go from cocoa farm to cocoa farm. Go the same way, folks. High bus. NPP towards flood affected areas. Namunye. Look, let's get to the level where it's not just I'm opposing because it is politically expedient. But I'm opposing because I'll show you what must happen so that you learn from that. So that even if you don't vote for me, I've shown you, say, these are the approaches that are feasible that can be done. Now, I've thrown you a big challenge so that you can maybe move your consciences from these press conferences. Go on the ground and let's see. Put your money where your mouth is. Folks, today, like I said, I mean, not any particular topic. I just came to express the point that, Charlie, we must be committed to this nation building. Whether we live to see it or not, that's another thing. I do not ever believe for 1 second that I am going to live to see the day where I see the Ghana I want. At this age, no. But all I can do is put the word out there, sow the seed out there, hoping that one day it will happen. And for that to happen, Ghanaians must have a change of mindset. That's what JM started in Tina. But then Makuma Yina be a World Cup. resetting our minds as World Cup. World Cup, because that's the only thing that will save this country. Everything else is a show. And the things will go round and round and round and round with no results until an eruption comes. But we can prevent any eruption right now if we decide to reset, rethink, and amend our ways as a Ghanaian. If we decide that right now, the focus is nation building, you and I will see the difference. Folks, I'm
not PENDREAM TV. Now, so far so good. Say open online portal e Ghana. Nipa share, nipa follow, nipa comment here. To my best of knowledge, without any biases, PENDREAM TV.